Boxing's rich history is full of great fights that were toe-to-toe brawls that go the distance and give the fans a full 10 to 12 rounds of action. But one thing can satisfy the fans more than any other, that is a brutal knockout ending a fight in bone-crushing style. Here are the most brutal knockout of all time. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our future updates. Number 10. Kermit Cintron vs. Walter Dorio Mathias. On July 14, 2007, Kermit Cintron gave Walter Dorio Mathias the punch of a lifetime when he knocked Mathias out in round 2 of their bout held at the Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Cintron dominated this short-lived fight and ended it with a devastating left, then a right hand for good measure after knocking down Mathias 2 times before in the fight. Number 9. Glenn Johnson vs. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was on the opposite side of the knockout on September 25, 2004, at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. Glenn Johnson knocked Jones Jr. out cold in round 9 of their 12-round fight. Coming on the heels of Jones Jr.'s first loss in 15 fights to Antonio Tarver, Johnson delivered a solid right to the side of Jones Jr.'s head, knocking him out and leaving him lying on the mat unconscious for a few minutes after the fight was called. Number 8. Lennox Lewis vs. Hatton Rahman. Lennox Lewis gave Hatton Rahman just what he gave him in their first fight, a knockout loss on November 17, 2001, at the Mandalay Bay Resort in Las Vegas. Lewis first won a battle in court to obtain his immediate rematch against Rahman, as Rahman tried to land another opponent for his first title defense. Lewis went on to defend his title 2 more times after beating Rahman, before calling it a career, beating Mike Tyson and Vitaly Klitschko, both by KO victory. Number 7. Manny Pacquiao vs. Ricky Hatton. Manny Pacquiao delivered the best knockout of his career against the once unknockout-able Ricky Hatton on May 2, 2007, at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas. Pacquiao knew he had to put on an impressive display against Hatton after Mayweather knocked Hatton out and delivered an even more impressive fashion, knocking Hatton out in round 2, as opposed to Mayweather's 10th round knockout a year and a half earlier. Hatton came into the fight winning straight victories after being knocked out and losing for the first time in his career against Mayweather. This was Hatton's last fight as a professional, as he has since retired from the sport. Number 6. Jerry Cooney vs. Ken Norton. Taking place on March 11, 1981, at Madison Square Garden in New York City, Jerry Cooney delivered a fast and disturbing knockout of Ken Norton, knocking him out in round 1. Cooney's destructive series of punches left Norton out cold, ending up being the last fight of Norton's career. Cooney went on to lose to Larry Holmes by TKO, blowing his only shot at a title in his career. His career lasted only 5 more fights, in which he won 3, but lost his final 2 fights, knocked out by George Foreman in his last fight. Number 5. Michael Spinks vs. Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson gave us a knockout to remember on June 27, 1988, when he knocked out Michael Spinks at the Convention Hall in Atlantic City. Tyson barreled his way into the fight, defending his titles 7 straight times, 5 of them by KO. Spinks came into the fight with a perfect record of 31-0, 21 of those wins by knockout, and was heralded by many people as the legitimate champion. Even though Tyson held all the belts, Tyson was the first and last person to knock down and out Spinks, as well as the first person to ever beat Spinks in his 32 professional bouts. Spinks retired after the fight. Tyson went on to defend his titles just 2 more times before his infamous knockout loss to Buster Douglas in 1990. Number 4. Ray Mercer vs. Tommy Morrison. Ray Mercer handed Tommy Morrison a vicious series of punches, knocking him out in dramatic fashion on October 18, 1991, at the Convention Center in Atlantic City. Both fighters came into the fight with undefeated records. Mercer 17-0 was fresh off his victory against Francesco Damiani, giving him the WBO heavyweight title. Morrison came in winning 28 fights in a row, 23 by knockout. Number 3. David Tua vs. John Ruiz. David Tua knocked out John Ruiz with thunderous authority on March 16, 1996, during their WBC International Heavyweight title fight, held at the Convention Center in Atlantic City. Tua, 22-0 at the time of the fight, came out with the intention of knocking Ruiz, 25-2 at the time of the fight, out and did so in a quick fashion, ending the fight in 19 seconds. Tua caught Ruiz with a powerful left and then landed a succession of punches, knocking Ruiz out. Adding insult to injury, as Ruiz fell to the canvas, Tua caught Ruiz with a ripping left hand, further sending Ruiz into an unconscious state. Number 2. Arturo Gatti vs. Joey Gamech. The late, great Arturo Gatti knocked out Joey Gamech in convincing fashion during their fight, held at Madison Square Garden in New York City on February 26, 2000. Gatti was known for his brawling style and knockout abilities that he enforced on Gamech in the second round of their fight, laying Gamech out with a left-right-left combo. Gamech was out on his feet and making the knockout worse for Gamech. His head bounced off the ring. The fight ended up being Gamech's last fight, as he suffered brain damage from the knockout. Gamech attributed it to Gatti putting on 19 pounds since they weighed in the day before and took Gatti to court, but lost his case. Number 1. Julian Jackson vs. Harold Graham. Julian Jackson took care of Harold Graham in spectacular fashion during their WBC middleweight title fight on November 24, 1990, at the Torrec Brada Hotel and Casino in Benalmádena, Andalusia, Spain. The devastating blow left Graham unconscious for around 5 minutes after he hit the canvas. The right hand that took him out knocked him out instantly. Then he took a vicious blow from the ring when his head bounced violently off the canvas, laying him out. With a pure one-shot power and a horrific head bounce Graham took, this, in my opinion, is the most brutal knockout in boxing history. That brings us to the end of this video. If you love similar content like this, take a look at my other videos. And if you like it, please smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.